Hey, Sarah, what did the orange say to the door? Oh, man, not this Siri business is.
I don't know. What did the orange say to the door?
Mind if I squeeze in?
That's a good one.
How often should you put an orange slice in your beer?
Every day.
Once in a blue moon.
Oh, that's not enough. Not enough.
I glued a bunch of orange sodas together in the shape of a stick. It's amazing. It's tremendous. It's fantastic. Get it? Fanta. It's a reading joke. That's a reading joke. What's the difference between a peach and an orange?
I mean, a lot of things, but what else?
Oh, no. You can't orange a peach, but you can impeach an orange. Now we got a little close to political. We're not about that. Welcome back, everybody. Yippee-ki-yay! It's Ask a Fence Gal Friday.
I like it. I like the energy.
Nailed it. Nailed it. I've been excited. I've been waiting all day
to do that.
Yippee-ki-yay! It's Ask a Fence Gal Friday. Friday. Are we still doing Friday?
No, it's Friday.
Friday.
You're doing the Yippee.
Ask it. Yeah. The Yippee is a Fence Gal Friday. Yeah. Raymond, hello. Welcome. We appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Far away, I believe. Oh, you're going to correct me if I'm wrong, Ray. New York? Virginia? I don't know.
Oh, East Coast. Okay,
yeah, East
all right.
Coast,
Raymond, where are you from? Let us know.
I believe so.
We are a far-reaching show now.
Yes, we are. Yeah. We're nationwide.
So I was talking to somebody. They're like, we're talking about the studio. And they're like, yeah, you're a television studio. Like, well, it's not really like a television studio. They're like, are you broadcasted on people's televisions? Like, well, I guess if they're streaming on YouTube, it could be. Like, yep, TV studio.
TV studio. Okay.
Now,
I like that.
Now we know. Now we know. It sounds a lot better than YouTube studio.
Yeah.
This is our television broadcast studio.
Ooh,
or something like that. Yeah, we'll have to figure out the terminology for it. It's a room that's got cameras and lights. Taylor Everest, hey,
hello.
To you. Welcome. So if Taylor's here, you know who else is here?
For sure, Josie.
Josie, for sure, but that's not who I meant. No. That's not who I meant.
Did you meant Macy?
Macy, no, Macy's at school.
Oh.
Macy, just for a few more days. Sure. I think Wednesday's their last day.
Could it be like a neighbor? Is there like a neighbor?
There could be neighbors over, but that's not who I'm talking about. That's not who I'm talking about.
Well, then who else is that?
It's not Josie. It's not Macy. It's not the neighbor kids or somebody else. It's Jackson. What is up, Jackson? How are you, buddy? I hope he's actually watching and it's not like he's not off playing with the other kids or something. I can
see him in the background going, "Hey, it's Jackson."
Raymond is from Rhode Island.
I don't know how I got that far off.
I mean,
it's
a
long way away.
Compared to Missouri, Rhode Island is pretty close to Virginia. So, granted, not next to each other, I don't think.
But it's definitely up there. It's north.
Definitely East Coast. Definitely northeast.
Northeast, yes.
Raymond, welcome.
He's gonna come down.
Even though Sarah doesn't know where you live, welcome. Thank you.
Raymond was asking me about stain the other day.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
What kind do you recommend? And I recommended the Stain and Seal Experts.
Right over your shoulder there. Yep. Stain and Seal Experts line of penetrating oil, stains, and sealants. Make sure you talk about what the cool kids do these days. This is a whole segment we have ready to go because I am deciphering cool kid code. I need to do this on TikTok, actually.
I learned a few new emojis.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So the first one's a bowl. And you're like, I'm eating it up. Love it.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
There's that. We already did the skull and crossbones. Is like, dead. There was another one that I was like, let me think on it. I'll have to think on it. But the soup one I saw, I was like, oh.
And it's just a bowl.
It's just a bowl, yeah.
Okay. And that means I'm eating it up.
Yep.
Cracking cool kid code here. Glad you guys are with us while we crack the cool kid code. If you guys know a cool kid code, you let us know.
Yeah.
Because I've got a 6th grader. So I am slowly but surely cracking cool kid code.
Yeah.
Now, she likes to act like it's super embarrassing, but I know that's just her way of like, oh my gosh, she's figuring it out.
Yeah. Like, oh no. This is definitely not it, Dad.
Yeah.
She's like,
no, don't
mission,
do that.
Mission, find new emoji.
Yeah. We need to find new saying for something that's totally awesome.
Yep. Oh, I know the other one.
Yep.
You could do like the alien emoji in the world.
Okay.
And it's like, that's out of this world.
Alien emoji with the globe emoji.
Yeah. Out of this world.
Out of this world.
Boom.
You heard it here first, folks. Cracking cool kid code. Jackson Soros. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one. I'm going to tell him that this afternoon if he's not watching. Taylor, is Jackson watching us? Please let us know. Steph, how are you?
Hi, Steph.
Steph is our customer service rock star. Is that what we say?
Each week. Find a cooler thing. She's like the coolest.
I know. We need to find like a
way cooler than we are.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We need to find
not hard for me, but no. So Steph, if you've called Ozark Fence, there's a 50-50 shot. There's more than that. There's like an 80-20 shot. You talk to Steph first. Yes. Sometimes you get Candace. Sometimes you get one of us, depending on if people are busy, and that happens.
Yeah.
Not when it's like pouring rain for the last month and a half, but.
You know what though? Monday it was pouring, and that was the busiest phone day we've had in a really long time.
Actually, you're right. Yeah,
because both Candace and I we were the only ones in the office, and we were both on the line, and like phone calls were still like coming through, and I'm like, do I run to the next office and just like pick it up on someone else's line? I don't know.
Thanks for calling Ozark Fence. Please hold. Thanks for calling Ozark Fence. Please hold.
Yeah,
like that's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah.
But so Steph, thank you for taking great care.
We'll think of an appropriately cool title.
That's right. If you have input on that, please let us know.
Yes.
We'd like to know.
Yep.
All right. Jackson Soros is watching.
Ooh, now we know.
Welcome, Jackson, to the broadcast. All right. Let's talk about cool kid code.
All right.
Now, I know how close I'm getting to this. Cool, like cracking the code based on Macy's reaction.
Yeah.
This one always gets it. So say something's like, let me ask you what you would do. So if you see something that's like amazing, you're wanting to hype that person up. I'm already a cool kid because I'm using that terminology. Yeah. Hype them up.
Yeah, you're being a hype man.
Yeah, hype man. What would you do? If I did something awesome and you're trying to hype me up, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know. I would first acknowledge it.
Okay.
I say, Joe, that was so lit.
Oh, that's a good one. Close.
Or I would say fire emoji.
Oh, you would say it.
Yeah. It's kind of like when people say like LOL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'd be like fire emoji.
Fire.
Yeah.
Or 100, 100, 100, 100.
Check mark.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All of that is very good. Very close. Those are all acceptable answers.
Okay.
But do you know what the kids do? Cool kids. Sheesh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
At first I thought it was just sheesh. No, you have to do the hand. Sheesh.
Why? Like it's not. Like
I don't know.
Like you're not committing to like the. Oh my gosh, that was cool.
I'm not.
Like, ooh.
I'm not coming at you with explanations.
Oh, you know what? It's kind of like that. I have no idea where this comes from, but like that is it Magic Johnson? I don't know, but where he'd be like, "Can't see me."
No,
that kind of, you know what I'm talking about? Like
it's not Magic Johnson.
I don't know. No. Like I imagine it like as like a magic show. I don't know, but yeah, like, can't see me. So maybe it's like that. Oh,
yes, sheesh.
Oh, sheesh. Okay.
Or she, like you gotta get your voice high pitch. Now we're talking 6th grade kids, right? But so sheesh, that's like hype.
Okay. I'm gonna try that with Scott
and
later.
You should.
Yeah,
you
when
should.
he does a good job, I'll be like, sheesh.
What? There's Scott. Sheesh. Yeah. So I wanted to.
Oh no.
So Macy had a band recital last night, and I wanted to try it just to see. So here's what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nicole has it right. It's John Cena that does like the "You can't see me."
Oh, it's the wrestling
wrestler. Wrestling is definitely what Grandpa used to call it. Yes.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, John Cena. Yep.
Yeah, Macy would be so proud right now. We're gonna
show
her the replay.
Yeah.
So, but what happens is, this is mainly like with middle school boys. Like girls do it sometimes, but basically mostly with middle school boys. But when one hears it, they all do it.
Oh,
what I envision this is like coyotes. one yips, and then they
All
all
have to
yip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one goes sheesh, then they all go perk up sheesh, and so
Yeah.
you hear just these little sheesh, like
Okay.
everywhere.
Okay.
I want to try it.
I think
So
you should.
basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit out front of the house because we have middle school kids just like in the neighborhood.
Sure.
One of them strolls by on the bike.
Yeah.
And be like, sheesh. And then just like sit around like, where'd that come from?
And see how many of them.
So weird. Yeah. And then see how many of them return the sheesh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a similar phenomenon
Okay.
going on.
I think I know where you're going with this, and that's point 2.
Okay.
No,
Well,
you go. We go for it.
I don't think we're going.
Okay, maybe not.
But it's with like Aldi's shoppers.
Oh,
so
this is
like
not where I was going.
A Aldi's Facebook group where like you find like the cool deals you found at Aldi's. It's a whole thing. But the thing is to see if there's like hundreds of thousands of people in this group, right? And you go into Aldi's and you go into the aisle of shame is what they call it, because it's the aisle of everything you never knew you needed.
Oh,
sort of thing. And they're different every week. So it could be like this time of year, it's like gardening, it's workout stuff, it's just kind of like really anything.
Why is it the aisle of shame?
Well, they don't call it that at
Aldi's. No, I know, but
it's just because you shamefully purchase things on this aisle.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It's like things that you're like, I did not
got me again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not need another shake weight.
Yeah, or maybe like you get shamed at home for purchasing the item. Like, oh, come on, we didn't need 3 more candles.
Okay.
And you're like, we did.
You always need candles. You always need candles.
So you do
like picture frames at Target.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you.
Yes,
I'm with you.
Very similar.
Gotcha.
So you do it like a crow would do in this situation. You let out a little caca, and then you see if anyone else in the store does it back. I've never done this. I have been in the store when this is done.
A
caca? And I did not caca back.
And this is an exclusive call for other people people that are in this Aldi's group.
I would like to think that there are people in the store that like don't even know why they're doing it, but they're like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, caca,
caca.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a Marco Polo sort of situation. Like, I see you, haha.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Gotcha.
Things. We also did that at a bachelorette party that I went to.
Oh, okay.
So
you went to Aldi's?
No.
No,
I think we came up with it. I think this is where the Aldi's group got it.
Okay.
And it was in Fort Worth.
Okay.
So we're downtown, and it started out as like if you saw someone attractive, you would do it, and then it just kind of became like if we lost someone, we'd do it, sort of thing. So we did this all weekend long. There's alcohol involved, but it's fine. And so then we were finally on the last day, we're like shopping, and there's this little kid, and it was so funny. We were all like looking through racks and stuff, and this little kid goes running by, and he's going like caca, caca, and all of a sudden you saw like 9 female heads like pop up, like look around, like who's cacawing for us, and like it was none of us. And there's like this child, and we're like, oh no, this is how they kidnap us for sure. But anyway, so I think
cracked the code.
Yeah,
cracked the caca code.
Yeah,
the kid did.
Yeah, so I think the lit kids are
lit kids.
Yeah,
is that what we're? Okay. This isn't cool kid code. It's lit kid code. Lit kid code.
Yeah. LKC.
I'm gonna be running that by Macy later on.
She'll never admit it because the first rule of lit kid club
code
club is you don't talk about it.
LKCC.
Yep.
So we will judge it. So if she's like, no, that's not it at all, Dad, be like, found it.
I think it is.
Found it. All right. Yeah. So it's like the video of everyone going, wee. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Yep.
Okay. And I have confirmed this a little bit on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I'm obviously on parent TikTok right now. Well, actually, I found myself on teacher TikTok, but I feel like that's like a subcategory of just parent TikTok because it's teachers making fun of their kids, middle school kids. Awesome. And one of them, nope, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, so one of them is the sheesh, and so they're like, oh, sheesh, and then. Like it's the same person, but she's in like every seat going sheesh. Awesome. What is the song? There's a song. I don't know it, so I'm not. But there's a song that all the kids sing to, but I don't know
I like that.
So, all right.
That one's just part of the.
Hello.
There you go.
Very welcome. You're very welcome, Raymond.
You're an international superstar.
I tell you what. Well, Raymond's in Rhode Island, so that is.
But we also have talked about how your YouTube channel
That's
as
true.
viewers
That's
from
true.
other countries.
That's true. Because I'm currently chatting with some chaps over in the UK about coming on the show.
Okay.
That's what I call them.
Okay.
That's what my version of that is chaps.
Because mates is.
Oh, that's Australia.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they call them mates down in Australia.
Okay.
I figured out, I'm learning that I need to pronunciate Australia because a lot of those folks think I said Austria.
Oh.
They're like, oh, yeah, Austria, New Zealand. Yeah, the American doesn't even know his, geography.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, as an American, I'm fairly familiar with the countries that participated in that were part of the axis of evil in World War II.
Sure.
I know I'm not talking about Austria when I'm talking about New Zealand. It's Australia.
Yeah.
I get it, mate. And
mate.
yeah,
Okay.
see how I threw that in there?
You did.
See how I did that? And when you're talking to someone from Europe, Australia, and some parts of Canada, you sign off cheers.
Yes.
That is a very much a them thing, which is weird how it went. Well, I guess Australia was it was a penal colony for Europe, I guess, right? That's how they get the European slang sometimes.
That makes sense, yeah.
So, and Canada is still
is very much, most of it's like a French,
French Canadian, the eastern part.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're all a colony still.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's where the cheers things comes in.
I do see sometimes on emails people do that. I'm going to change mine to instead of thanks. Cheers.
Oh, it'd be
cheers.
So it's very European of you. Very progressive. Very progressive around here.
I'm going to start a trend.
But no, yeah. Like I was talking to Al Martins, who has Fence Armor and Post Saver up in Canada.
Yes.
And his whole team. Cheers. I'm like, all right. I envision that they're like in a pub somewhere.
Yes.
See how I called it a pub instead of a bar?
I don't know that in Canada they call it a pub.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure they're just bars. But
they do call them bars? Okay.
There are a lot of standalone bars, though, from where I went to, oh my gosh, I don't even remember the little town. But there was like a bunch of restaurants with bars, but there weren't like a ton of standalone bars.
Is it with the horse place? The Canadian Nationals? Oh.
No.
So that was in Regina, Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah. No, this was
oh yeah, for your testing.
It's like just north of Buffalo, New York. Why can't I picture? I'll come back to it.
Okay.
Oh, outside of Toronto.
Outside of Toronto.
So maybe in Toronto there's probably bars, but like in some like the other suburbs.
But it's more just like restaurants with internal bars.
Yes.
Gotcha. But they're not called pubs.
I never saw one called a pub. In fact, you had to go.
No, I know.
They had different places that had just beer.
Okay.
And then they sell just wine at like your grocery stores. And then you had your liquor stores. So it was like they were three different categories.
So we have some of that here in the States. Like down in Texas, you have to buy liquor and not just Texas, but I know it for a fact in Texas, you can only buy liquor from a liquor store.
Yes.
But you can buy beer in a grocery store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Memphis.
So, I don't know where wine falls into that.
Or I think they've combined them now. But I remember when we went for Rachel's wedding, we went to a Walmart and we were like, "Where's the wine?" And they're like, "We don't sell wine here."
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm like they make you feel like you're like the bad person." You're like, "Oh, anywhere?
Yeah.
Is anyone?"
Sorry, I thought this was a convenience store. Not very convenient right now.
Exactly. So we had to go to an actual liquor store.
Like a liquor store to get wine.
So I know there's a little different.
But here in Missouri, we are wide open.
Yep.
You can buy that in a Walgreens now.
Yeah.
I saw that liquor at a Walgreens.
Yep.
Getting a little crazy here in Missouri. All right. Oh, look who is back. Brent Midge. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen you.
Yeah.
I love this.
Welcome,
beautiful people. I've been living I always say this, Brent, but I've been living vicariously through your Facebook feed. Brent's just a traveling man. He's a traveling man.
I need to send you a friend request.
He's been everywhere, man. He's traveling. All right, no, we're not going to do that.
No, it's stuck in my head all day.
Raymond, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping in.
Yes,
absolutely.
Can't wait to meet you this summer.
Yeah, come on down. He is coming down here.
Coming down, yeah.
Very good. You'll have to come by. We'll give him the tour and take him to the cafe for some lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a deal. When's he coming?
Perfect. July, I believe so.
July.
I believe that's what Tracy was saying. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, he's relatives with TJ's mom.
Oh, very good. Very good. Okay. Okay. In fact, welcome to the family.
Come see our
we're not welcoming him to the
studio.
family. Yeah, our television production studio. That's what we're gonna call it from now on.
You have a good day too, Ray.
We were able to buy wine at a grocery store.
Oh, now they do. In
No.
Tennessee now, after she moved out, they did.
Oh,
You can do
okay.
it. And I'm assuming she's saying Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like Nicole's randomly reporting back.
We were able to.
Yeah, we were able to buy wine at the grocery store. Just letting you know. Wine at the grocery store,
Head
folks.
there, get your wine.
Like a little bird call going up. That's right. Brent was on the island hunting white sea bass.
Ooh, I like some sea bass. That's good. Here, that's like a delicacy. You
Yeah.
go to a restaurant and they have sea bass, you're like, yep.
I have trust issues with restaurants and how they title fish, though.
What do you mean?
Like, well, okay, like tilapia
Oh.
is actually like an Asian carp.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like I watched a documentary on that.
Yeah.
And they were like, yep, pretty much an Asian carp that was
They
like
probably
some
got
sort of
out
genetically
the Peoria
modified.
River because they were there.
Pure in Asia?
No, Peoria, like Illinois. They came up the river. Someone had released like
Oh.
the carps, the ones that jump when there's like a sound. You've seen this. They're the carp hunters.
Oh,
And the guys are like
and
skiing
they got
and
nets
they got
and they're
nets.
trying
Yes.
to. Oh, I never knew where that was from.
Yeah, they were
Peoria, huh?
There's something Asian carp or something. Yeah, but that's reminding me of that.
I don't. These are tilapia is different than that. I think. Like
tilapia
I've seen
is for sure different. But I'm saying if you're saying that what they're calling tilapia is Asian carp.
Yeah. Well, so that's where tilapia came from. Well, listen, I get it if I'm wrong. I probably am. I'm wrong a lot, but I'm usually pretty close. So this might not be exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But it's definitely close to what happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they had this fish. It is in Asia or China or somewhere. I said Asia or China, like China's not an Asian. Anyway, so they're like, what do we do with these fish? They couldn't figure it out. They're like, well, what if we cook them? It's a white fish. People will eat this fish. And they're like, give it to the Americans. They'll eat it. Sure enough, Americans love tilapia now. And it was originally like a nuisance fish.
They're real weird looking.
They are very weird looking.
Huh. So they're like considered like a trash fish, like in Asia. Or at some
I
point they
wasn't
were.
going to call them that, but you did.
I did.
Because
I
every
think they're
fish is
delicious.
every fish is a valuable fish.
Sure. Yes.
They all are very good fish.
Some I'd rather eat. Some I wouldn't,
Yeah,
but,
like-
you know.
Yeah, it's like barracuda. I like looking at barracuda. I will not eat a barracuda. Like they are the boniest, just not great
Yeah.
fish. But so we were on a radio station tour in Aruba, and we went on a fishing trip,
Oh, cool.
and
Okay.
we caught some barracuda.
Yeah.
And we're like, throw them by. Like we don't want to eat them. The guy's like, do you mind if we keep it? Well, that's fine, but we don't want it though. He's like, no. So the kids that come clean the boat, like we give them money, but also we'll give them all the barracuda we catch, and they love barracuda.
Huh.
So
Okay.
if you're in
Cool.
Aruba and you catch a barracuda, go give it to the kids because they love barracuda. Apparently,
Okay.
I do not love barracuda,
I've
but
never
this
tried it, I
this
guess. I don't know.
story goes to show though
Uh-huh.
that what one person would throw back,
Yes.
another person would want.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Bingo. That's the moral of today's story. Raymond, you're very welcome. Thank you
Yeah,
for joining
thanks
us.
for tuning in. It's awesome.
Most of your scallops are punched. If they're perfectly round, that means they're not scallops.
What?
Punched in bat ray wing. What are we saying here?
What I got out of it is they're part bat wings, and I'm not about that life. I don't think that's what he meant, but that's what like my head
No.
immediately went to.
Most of your scallops are punched in bat ray wing.
They're perfectly round. That means they're not a scallop.
All right.
I've
So
had
I'm
a lot
not
of
sure
perfectly
what we're
round
talking about when we
scallops,
say
and
punched
I'm
in bat
scared.
ray wing, but now I know if scallops are round, they're not scallops. Well, and it's probably like the crab meat you buy at the store that's spelled with a
Oh.
K.
Yeah.
There's actually fish that's like flavored with
What do they
crab
call it?
flavoring
It's
or
not
something.
imposter, but it's like
Imitation.
imitation.
It's
Yeah.
imitation
Imitation
crab.
crab. What does that even mean? A synthetic
So
crab.
if
Come
it's
on.
round, it's imitation scallops.
I'm gonna ask next time I get scallops. I'm like, excuse me, Are these perfectly round?
Can you please bring me a sample of them? I need one, please.
Yeah.
And if it's round, be like, oh, you didn't say this is imitation scallop. You said it's real scallop. Big seafood show today.
Yes, big seafood.
Big seafood show today.
Yep.
So, what in the world? Bat ray. They have 8-foot wings, and that's what they punch perfectly around circles.
Like a
manta ray.
Yeah.
But it's called a bat ray.
I didn't realize that was a
Brent, you're educating some Missouri folks right now on different animals of the ocean because I didn't know there was a bat ray.
That does not sound like anything I'd want to swim with.
I have had round scallops though, and they were pretty good.
Now I feel better about it because I was thinking like the bats like we have here, and I'm like,
nah, you can't find because some of the round scallops I've got, I don't.
They're pretty.
Now that I know, I don't know that I've ever looked at them to see if they're perfectly round though.
Yeah.
I bet I've had some imitation.
Oh, I'm sure I have.
Yeah.
I had scallops.
I'd be like, sir, I'm sorry. I did not order bat ray. I'm sorry. I ordered scallops, not bat ray. Please bring me the scallops. They do taste good, but nothing like a real scallop. Believe that.
Let's do like a taste test.
This is the whole thing too. I don't like eating a ton of seafood in the Midwest. I love when we visit someplace near a coast. Then I'm getting seafood for sure because I know there's a better chance that it's actual seafood.
It's fresh.
Yeah,
they do have programs. I know when I worked at a restaurant, he would deal directly with I don't know. They had to have a fisherman organization, whatever. And by the time it got to to the restaurant, it was at least I don't know. It was 12 or 18 hours. Between the time that they pulled it out of the ocean and it's on your door.
There's a couple guys here in Springfield that do that for area restaurants. They'll go down to, I want to say New Orleans, somewhere in Louisiana, Alabama, something like that. Okay. They'll drive down there. They'll drive through the night, be there first thing in the morning when the boat gets back. Quick flash freeze it or whatever. Bring it back, put it on dry ice, bring it up and sell. It's a lot of shrimp. Yeah. It's a lot of crawfish. That sort of thing.
I believe that, yeah.
There used to be a place over on the south side of Springfield, so Republic Road west of Kansas, between Kansas and West Bypass. You know where the Walmart market is?
Yeah.
It used to be just across the street from there.
Okay.
I don't know where it went. It might not even be anywhere anymore.
The little truck.
It was a little truck. It was a food truck. Yes, so they would have fresh seafood brought up from these guys. I actually met one of the guys. Actually, him and I are friends on Facebook. But I went out to do a fence bid. It's been 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm like, man, this name sounds familiar. I was like, I think you and I are Facebook friends. He goes, yeah, I think so too. It's like, are you the guy that goes and gets the fresh seafood? He's like, yeah, that's me. Said awesome. I'll leave it late night, and I'll drive through the night. I'll take a nap in my car while I'm waiting for the boats to get in. I'll buy 3-4 coolers of fresh seafood. And then drive it back up.
Heck yeah.
And then since he's upgraded box trucks and stuff
That's
like
awesome.
that. But yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. All right. Well, big seafood show today, folks. I hope you guys were in for seafood. Yep. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't go off. No. Sometimes when I say that, the computer thinks I said SARI, and then it's yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about fence.
Okay. Sure.
Novel idea.
Yeah.
It has been a bit wet this week.
Yeah, a little monsoonish. Yeah.
A bit monsoonish. That is right. That is right. But we're still getting fence done.
We are. Yeah. It's taking a little bit longer for posts to set in concrete.
Yep.
But that's to be expected. Everyone they know that, you want your fence done right. So everyone's been really patient, which we always appreciate. But yeah, we're still trucking through it. We're still setting posts. We're just waiting a little bit longer to let them settle.
Yep. Give them an extra day or so for that concrete to cure.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, but the guys are still out there building fence. We've got actually quite a bit done this week.
Yeah. They really have.
I saw the weather forecast, Monday morning. I sit in my office looking at the weather forecast thinking, here we go. This might be a little bit slow week. Yeah. We might be playing catch up next week. I don't think we're going to be playing catch up next week. I really don't. There was one today that had some bumps come up. So they might be playing catch up on that one.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really weather related.
No. And the only other things I did have to submit 2 for relocates just because when I went out there. So on Fridays, I do my locates. I go and make sure that utilities we kind of have a general idea where they are when we
Sure,
go out there to do, the final walkthrough, but just to make sure that the utilities aren't going to cause a problem. And when I did that, I noticed that the locators on a couple of them didn't use flags. So there was a faint marking on where they were, but we don't want to risk it.
Right.
And knowing that we're getting rain today and tomorrow, I'm like, yeah, what are the odds that that's even going to be there Monday?
Yeah. Well, actually, so they've taken rain out of the forecast for tomorrow.
Oh.
So it's supposed to be dry tomorrow, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, good.
Rain coming back Tuesday. So the utilities getting relocated.
Yep.
Will be good through the weekend.
Should be good. Yep.
Now, when it starts raining Tuesday, it's going to rain like for the next 10 days again. So it's like round 2 of monsoon season coming in.
Do you think that 2021 just didn't realize that like this is May? It's not April. They're a month late. You know what I mean? Like it's April showers bring May flowers.
Well, I was going to say now it's May showers bring June flowers.
Which is good because I did not plant my garden yet. So.
Well, and we had a really late freeze.
Yeah.
So this year's just off to a delayed start.
Yes. Yeah, we've got a delayed start.
Everything delayed 1 month. Let everybody know.
That's good.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Because my wedding's October 2nd.
That's right.
And a lot of people are very concerned that it's going to be cold.
It could be.
It could be. Wood, but my birthday's October 1st.
Yeah.
And I always want fall weather on my birthday. Always.
Yeah. It's usually hot. Yeah. Yeah.
I always I'll wear, so I have this tradition where I go to this winery. It's a local winery and it's the last weekend they're open.
Okay.
Last weekend of October. Okay. And I always just have a book. I drink a glass of wine and I sit in this beautiful countryside. It's gorgeous. Every year. And I always wear a sweater. But I always have to wear something underneath it because I'm like, I know that in my mind, I want it to be sweater weather.
Right. But it's usually not sweater.
Never come home with the sweater, cardigan, or
is
whatever.
Is it the one north of town?
Yes.
We went to one time?
Yes, Tyler Ridge.
Yep.
Tyler Ridge Winery.
That is very nice.
Yeah.
That is very nice.
It's an old homestead.
Yeah.
So it's very cool and they live right down the street and it just feels like you're going to drink wine with your aunt and uncle, This is pretty cool. I like it. And it's on one of the tours, the Missouri wine tours.
Very good.
So, but anyway, I said say 2021.
It's gonna be warm.
Get it together.
It's gonna be warm.
A month behind.
We're just for your wedding. It will be warm. Won't be too warm. It will be warm.
It will be warm.
It will not be any adverse weather. We're just gonna say it now,
right?
Because when you put thoughts out into the universe, they come true.
Yep. You know what? Our mom always says, "What's thought about is brought about."
That's right.
So I'm thinking
great weather.
But you want a little bit of rain because rain's good luck on your wedding day. So it could rain slightly in the morning before everything gets set up.
Okay. Totally light mist.
Light mist. Yep.
At most, a light mist.
5 minutes
pre-set up
rain. Bye.
Between 4 and 5 a.m.
Yes. Yeah. Before we're up.
That would be perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's just schedule it.
Yep.
If anybody out there's got the weather schedule, if you could just punch that in, that would be great.
You could also just deduct the rain count for next week by a couple days. You know what I mean? We don't need 10 days of straight rain.
Right.
Just
Taylor agrees with you. Taylor says hopefully it stops raining by next weekend.
Oh yeah.
We got some plans next weekend.
That's true.
Agreed. I don't think we're gonna. They're not our plans or Taylor. 2 weekends.
2 weekends.
2 weekends.
Yes, okay.
That's right.
I was next
right,
weekend.
right.
I had a moment of panic because I'm not here next weekend.
Yeah, because I think Thursday or Friday's the 1st. Something like that.
Yes.
Because I know Wednesday is the last Wednesday of the month. Because we do stuff here. We've got stuff we do here on the last Wednesday of the month. We have team meetings and we do a general cleaning, organizing, and then team building stuff in the afternoons. Yeah. Staff meetings, that sort of stuff. But anyway, I say all that to say I know for a fact next Wednesday is the last Wednesday of the month.
Yep.
So hopefully it stops raining by 2 weekends.
Yes.
For sure. So, because we've got
next weekend.
That's yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yep. That's right. I definitely remembered this. That next weekend is when we're getting family pictures done. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, we haven't been able to get pictures done with Josie. Josie wasn't feeling good, and then we've been having kind of bad weather on the weekends.
Yeah.
So, yep. So, yes, to reaffirm, hopefully it stops raining by next weekend.
TJ and I haven't gotten our engagement photos done. So, we'll just come join family photos. And then we'll just we'll put us on the outside of them. And then we can just kind of crop
and then just crop.
You can crop and have your family photos. You can crop and have engagement photos.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just shoot them wide.
Yes.
Yep. And have family here, Sarah TJ here.
Yeah.
So then we can just and then here here's exactly what we're going to do. We'll actually just print them all.
Yeah.
And then we can just cut them.
Yeah, with like one of those like.
We're not going to do like fancy like digital
like one of those
cropping. We're going to do
slicers. Yeah.
Or can we find the old school like paper
like
shink?
machete, like attached machete thing?
Yeah, the thing that'll take off a small child's arm.
Yes.
That they have in every school everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
It even makes that sound, that like, shink.
Yeah.
Like, cool. That's going to do some damage. Okay. It's also Taylor's birthday.
Yes.
I wasn't going to say that because this is a public thing, but Taylor told everybody.
Yes.
There you go. And it would also be perfect to tag along. We're doing pictures with everybody. Okay. Good deal.
All right.
All right.
So covered weather.
Big weather show.
Big
weather show.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, I say that to say we got a lot done though.
Yes.
That was good news.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Sometimes on this show, we do good news, bad news.
More often than not.
Lately.
A lot of times it's like, bad news. Oh yeah, let's good news. Woo.
Okay,
You know
I need you to start thinking about some good news so we can do a good news, good news sandwich.
Okay, I got it. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Bad news. Fencing materials are going up.
Well, okay.
I feel like this is a bit of a broken record.
Yeah.
But we got notice Monday that wood's going up 25%, pipe and tubes 8%. Basically, everything's going up effective Monday. So everything's getting more expensive. If you've thought about getting a wood fence, now's a great time while we still have wood materials in that we did have to pay 25% more for.
Yes. So we will have 2 truckloads at the previous pricing that we had.
Yes.
And then after once this will come into effect when we have to purchase new materials.
Yeah. We actually have 1 truckload still in transit.
That's what I mean. So we have 1 truckload out here.
We've almost 2 truckloads. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got 1.5, 2 truckloads on the ground, and then we've got another truckload in transit. So it should be here next week, delivered next week, at the current pricing.
Yes. So
once that's gone, then prices go up.
I would say late summer is when we'll see, maybe probably summer. July we'll probably see the effects of this.
Oh yeah,
maybe August.
I think earlier than that, because while we have a truck and a half on the ground right now, we have contracts sold against that truck.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so we've got, right now we're about 5 weeks out. So we've got about 5 weeks worth of work sold against that stack. Yeah. So I would almost say we'll probably start seeing the effects in the next month and a half, maybe.
Okay.
So typically during the summer, when we're putting up a bunch of fence, when we're selling a bunch of fence material, we go through a truckload every 3 weeks, 3 to 4. I'd say 3 weeks for planning purposes, but sometimes it's 4. Sometimes it's a truckload a month. Yeah. So knowing that a good portion of that's probably already sold, that we'll be installing in the next month. Yeah. So get your fence while it's still, I was going to say affordable, but
what does that even
every week there's a price increase. So it's like buy at the current levels. Like,
well, and that's where it's really important. So even if we're talking to people that may not be here, like local, I feel like that's also a really important fact of like, look at what your contract says. Like what, when you sign something with any kind of contractor, I mean, this could be a remodel, it could be anything. Make sure that there's not a clause in there that says, hey,
escalation clause. Yeah.
Right.
Escalation clause. Yeah.
I think that's really important to kind of to see that. Cause like for us, it's okay. I know when I send out a bid, I know that we have these boards here to support this price.
Yep.
So what this price is, so it doesn't matter if in, June that we get an increase in price, your board's already accounted for.
Right.
They're already held back. They're good. You're fine. But I know that there are a lot of other places that don't have maybe inventory.
Yep.
And that's just industry wide. That's not necessarily fence companies. That's just,
contractors in general.
Contractors in general.
Yep.
So I would just be, as a customer, just read the contract's really good.
Yep.
See what you're signing up for. Cause I would hate for someone to be on the top end of their budget and then come time to your project, you're not able to do it because there was an escalation clause. And
well, I was talking to a finance guy the other day that deals in mortgages, new home builds, that sort of thing. And his point was that they're having to go back to folks that are building houses 2 or 3 times, re-upping their down payment because the cost of that fence is ballooning much higher than originally thought. So, when they put a down payment of 20% or whatever the number is, well, it's 20% of what it used to cost, not 20% of what it's costing now. So they have to go back and say, well, I'm going to need some more money because the cost of your house is ballooned. Now the value of the house is also ballooning too. So, it's, as of right now, everyone's still in good shape. Now, what happens if the housing market pulls back? I don't know. I'm a fence guy.
We'll find out.
What's this supposed to mean, Walt?
Yeah. Break the camp.
Walt Dennis. What is that supposed to mean? I'm trying to think of a good way to interpret that because I know you and I know you're a friendly guy.
I know what it is.
Okay.
So
I'm willing to listen.
Maybe it's not like the camera. Maybe it's like one of those, like the key cams, like you use, like rock climbing and stuff, like a cam. You know what I mean? Like a carabiner. People call those like cams. So maybe it's that.
What would that mean in relation to this broadcast?
Maybe he's just. Oh, he said only for you. I don't know. You're on your own now.
Well, now listen. You and I have been friends for a while. Good friends. I would think. I would. If you were to ask me 20 minutes ago, I would have said you would say the same thing. We were both say that we were really good friends. Now, after this, don't break the cam, and then you made it clear you're speaking to me. Walt, I'm just saying this right now. And I'm giving you a warning because of our friendship. I can press where do they go? I can press 3 little buttons. And I can put you in timeout for 15 minutes. Sir.
Facebook jail.
Facebook jail. Well, it's not it's just for this broadcast. Like he could go somewhere else and still be okay.
Temporary jail.
But for this broadcast.
Ozark Fence jail.
Yeah. Oh, and then he tries to make it better. I like your haircut.
Good news.
Walt, you're supposed to do good news, then bad news, then good news, sandwiched together. That's the way to do that. Not lead off with, don't break the cam. Only you, not the other you. Don't break that cam. Oh, I like the haircut.
He's ending it on a good note.
Walt Dennis. Oh, buddy. Okay. All right. We're moving on. He says he likes, what's an M word? Milkshakes a lot. I don't know. He likes milkshakes a lot. What's the O? Likes milkshakes a lot. Oh, likes milkshakes after oatmeal.
Oh, okay.
I'm in with that. Likes milkshakes after. But I'm taking it off because I'm still hung up on the don't break the camera, even though I'm a little bit less perturbed because you did say you like the haircut. Thank you, sir. It took me a long time to get this haircut this morning. Everyone and their brother wanted haircuts today. Yeah. So I had to fight the crowds to get a haircut.
I'll tell you what I had to do. I had to fight the traffic because now Springfield, all of the construction agencies, MoDOT got together and they said, you know what? It'd be really fun is if we do road construction on every street in Springfield.
Wow.
It'll be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Not hilarious.
Not funny, MoDOT.
No.
Hey, MoDOT, if you're watching, not a fan.
Nope.
Not a fan of your road work hijinks.
Now that I'm out of it, it's a little more humorous. But yesterday I was going to an appointment. And I was going down and I forgot the Sunshine curves into does one lane there by my house. So it's like, dang. Yep. So I said, okay, I'm going to go down Campbell. So I veered down Campbell because I was driving the stain van. And it's very large and in charge. Yep. So can't navigate the cones. Just don't feel comfortable doing it. So get down Campbell. And then I went to maybe it was Battlefield. And then Battlefield had construction. And I was like, what? I took 3 different detours and there was all construction on every single one of those detours. I'm like, it's one of those moments where you're like, what is the universe trying to tell me? It's trying to tell me to slow down.
That's right.
It's fine.
Slow down.
Slow your roll. It'll be all right. But yeah, apparently construction zone now. Springfield, all of it.
You know who I heard is in charge of all the bad things that happen?
What?
Walt Dennis.
Oh. Well, I've got a lot of bones to pick with.
That's right. I said it. It's Walt Dennis's fault. Nope, that's not the one. Everything's going up.
Yes.
That's a fact. So we kind of saw the lumber thing coming. I watched commodity, like the lumber commodity market a little bit, and we saw. I guess it's been a couple weeks ago now. Like it hit an all-time high of 1,600. Now it's usually three to $400 per thousand board feet, and it, like I said, it capped out a couple weeks ago at 1,600. Now it's come back down relatively to 14 to 1,500. So it's not 1,600, but it's also, so that's when we called it. The supplier said, "Hey, you got those boards we've been talking about? Why don't you go ahead and send another truckload of those things down?"
Yeah.
Kind of seeing,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's so we've got friends that own other types of businesses, and we're in groups of people with other businesses, that sort of thing. And this is pretty much nationwide, whether we're talking about fence or whether we're talking about decks or roofs or siding or windows or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything's more expensive.
It's nuts.
Just, and it's not one thing, right? It's not, people say, well, it's the labor force because we can't get, we're fighting unemployment. Well, I'm sure that's part of it, but it's also cost of materials going up. It's also, I mean, there's 100 different things going on. And now it was pandemic, right? So it was lumber prices last year were affected by the pandemic, right? Because they legitimately didn't have a workforce.
Yeah.
A lot of it was, not a lot of it. One of our suppliers is milled in California. Mm-hmm. And so they were shut down for a significant portion of the year, the majority of the year. So it's stuff like that. Now we're getting into it's strictly, this round of increases is strictly commodity markets. People buying and selling contracts. The when it hit 1,600, it was mid-July delivery. So yeah, it's going up.
Crazy.
It's going to keep going up. But Walt's got a good question. With prices going up, are you seeing a slowdown? Not really.
I would say compared to maybe previous years, maybe slightly, but with the increase in lumber prices, it evens out. You know what I mean? Like I may have less projects to manage, but we're still in a good financial spot.
Yeah.
But in general, no, I don't feel like we're slow. Yeah. I just know there have been some times where we're just insane in the summer, and we're not there yet. We're not in the summer yet, so it could be totally this way in June.
May.
And yeah. But I don't think overall, no, I don't think so.
No, and especially so, we might be, when we're talking about dollars in terms of just top line gross revenue, right, a little bit lower than where we were last year. But keep in mind, last year was a weird year anyway.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Tons of stimulus money in the market. Not everyone, the majority of folks were home, and so last year was the year for home improvements.
Yeah,
like period.
That was nuts.
Prices were still relatively normal, so stimulus money, people staying home, vacations being canceled. So they had a vacation fund set up that they weren't going to be able to use. So they rolled that money back into home improvements.
Yep.
Last year was a weird year. So if we're talking dollars, top line gross revenue, slightly down from last year, but ahead compared to other years.
Correct. Yes.
19, 18, 17, that sort of thing.
And I think that's where I'm kind of like, man, from last year, project wise, quantity wise, like, sure, but last year was so far ahead of what I ever thought it would be.
Yeah.
That it's hard to gauge it. Like I don't feel like we are certainly not slow by any means.
No.
But you're right. Yeah. I think that's what I mean. Like we have less projects quantity, but I think you're right. I think it's because a lot of the people got fences last year. Last year they had the time to be there. They had, they were home working. They wanted to be able to throw the kids and the dogs out in the backyard. Yep. They don't have a fence, that sort of thing.
Yep.
So yeah. So I guess the really long answer is not really,
Yeah, absolutely. So, let's follow up. Do you see the prices coming back down to where they were? No.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't. So where they were, that's the thing. So if we're saying where they were pre-pandemic, no.
I don't think there's any way.
You can't inject that much money into an economy, any economy, our economy, anybody's economy. I don't care whose it is. you can't inject that much money into an economy and not see inflation.
Right.
You know, some sort of inflationary pressure. You just can't do it. So are the prices going to come back down? Sure, to some point, right? But not to where they were. We saw this last year in treated lumber. So a 4x4x8 pressure treated pine post used to be $7.50, $8, jumped up to $30. You know, amidst all the craziness, no one knew if there was ever going to be lumber again. $30 a post, and then it came back down. Now I think $12 to $13 per post, roughly. So is it $7 to $8? No, I don't think it will be.
It'll ever be.
Now, it was 30, so did it come back down? Yeah. Compared to 30, 12 is great, but compared to $7.50 to $8, 12's still a significant increase. So,
right. Well, it's kind of like if you look at like minimum wage, right? So if you raise minimum wage to try to get workers into the economy and all that thing, you never see minimum wage decrease. Like it's never, you know what I mean? Like it's always, it may stay constant, that sort of thing. And I think that's what has a lot to do with some of like the pricing that we're seeing. Like, yes, it's the raw materials, but it's also like a labor thing as well. Yeah. So like when the labor increases, then you're going to have to absorb that somewhere. So yeah, I don't think it'll ever come down to that. So
yeah.
I'd be shocked if it, I don't know.
When I was a kid and I started driving, unleaded gasoline was 99 cents a gallon.
Yeah, he just mentioned.
You know, I saw it. Yeah,
okay,
so
I was like, that's so funny.
That Walt said my oil prices have gone up over $1 a gallon. Now, will they come back down? Sure, but will they come back down to where they were? No, I really don't think. Would I love it? I would love for it to come back down to where it was. Absolutely. Yeah. Here's the thing, folks. So we have this conversation sometimes in our Facebook post comments. We see this saying, "I can't believe how much fence costs." Neither can I.
Yeah, same.
So, as a fence company, it is in our best interest to build as much fence as we can, you know, within reason, right? Keep our guys busy, keep our suppliers paid, keep the lights turned on. It is in our best interest to build as much fence as we can. But we also can't do that at a loss, or else the lights don't stay on and we can't afford to pay our people, that sort of thing. So we don't like price increases just as much, if not more. Like we dislike price increases maybe more than our customers do, because we know that it's a ripple effect. It affects our team members. It affects our suppliers. It affects everything. In addition to our clients, I absolutely understand no one wants to see price increases, but we also can't operate this business at a loss, right? We have to pass on material price increases because there simply isn't, you know, this fund of money that we can pull from to pay our overhead, if not from fence sales.
Yes.
Right. So we can't absorb these material increases. There were years where we could, you know, that's happened in the past, but these are also years when you get 1 to 2 price increases a year. So you absorb, you know, it used to be lumber, you got twice a year, spring and fall. So the spring price increase we would absorb, and then we would wait till fall and then would pass one increase on. So rather than do 2 increases, we would do 1 a year. We'd absorb the first one, catch up on the second one. Now we're talking about weekly price increases, or every other week price increases. So, I mean, that's obviously not possible. You cannot absorb that many price increases. And like I said, the price increase we got Monday was 25% on lumber. Like there is no part of 25% increase that a company can just simply absorb.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but you know, I absolutely hear the frustration that's in the comments, you know, on some of these posts that we put up on Facebook about the price of fence. I get it. Like I think like I said, we are just as frustrated, if not more, with the price increases that we're getting, but we also don't control that.
Right.
You know, so we bid projects based on the cost of material, the cost of labor, the cost of overhead, profit at the end. That's your price. Right. So if materials increase, if labor increase, if overhead increase, that affects the end result, right? The end total.
Right. Absolutely.
So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but like I hear the frustration. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, just as frustrated.
We're all frustrated. And I think that that's something that I want to say weighs heavy on my heart, but it kind of makes me a little frustrated, if we're being honest, about I feel like sometimes it would be nice if everyone would just take a step back and realize like we're all human
Sure.
and no one is out here to try to pad their income by putting a fence in your yard or anything like
Sure.
that.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
it's not so I promise you that like yeah, like when we have these conversations about raising prices, like those are long conversations that we have where we say, "Hey, like what is the least we can do to be able to still keep the lights on, still do that and like still give a great value to our customers." And so I think that's what's really hard for me when I see those comments where I'm like, we are all people. We're all
Yep.
human. We all have hearts. We all, like no one is sitting here not caring about your project. Like
Right.
no one is doing that. It's just the price increases are, I would argue, harder on us than they are like the
Sure.
consumers because we do give a lot of thought to that. And we give a lot of thought to the customers that we're not going to be able to serve because of those. And we get it. Like we
Absolutely.
understand, everyone has a budget. I'm going through a remodel, so I definitely understand budget. But it's hard. It's hard to see like all the increases and realizing like that puts a lot of people like without a fence or without, even if we want to take it a step further and say, like different things that like are more of like a fundamental like need. I don't know like how to
Sure.
explain that, but like
Sure.
a daily thing. Like it stinks across all industries. And so
Right.
it's one of those things where we do what we can to be able to like to put a fence in the backyards of the customers we can. But unfortunately that sometimes it's not all of them. It's certainly not as many as we'd love it to be, and that's just comes from us wanting to help everybody. And
Well,
it's kind of hard.
I think you had a good point there too. So by the time you see us push through a price increase, there's been at least 2 or 3 meetings about that price increase that have already happened. Typically just between me and you, sometimes me and you and my dad, or sometimes we'll bring Scott into it that runs our wood crew. We bring Scott into it just because he's kind of been around, just as long, if not more than the rest of us. So, there's been 2 or 3 meetings about, okay, one, do we think the price increase is going to hold? So that's a real conversation. Yep. Is this a temporary price increase? Can we, partially absorb this? If we think it's going to be a month, can we partially absorb? Can we absorb some of it to get through a month, knowing that prices are coming back down? And so then that's usually a conversation with our vendor to say, hey, is it,
projection here?
Yeah, do you think this is going to be a long-term, like a permanent increase, or is this a temporary increase to see if more supply comes down the line? And then it's, what would a price increase look like, or what effect would it have on our business as far as production?
Right.
And, in the end, do we push it through, yay or nay? How much of an increase do we push through? That's usually the bigger discussion. We typically have to push through an increase just because there's not enough here for us to absorb an increase.
And they've been such dramatic increases. It hasn't been a 1% increase. It's been a 25% increase, 8%. Like it's those where you're like, well, shoot, in theory, you're like, well, that's not that much. But if you're looking at a $10,000 job, it becomes a lot really fast, and that's not. And it's hard because on the other side of things, we're looking at our customers and all of that. And so when we push back on our vendors saying, hey, are we sure about this? And they're like, hey, we're all in the same boat. Like we're trying to take care of our people and our company and our, and it's just everyone's going through the same thing. So I think it's easy kind of just, I know I do. I find myself thinking like, okay, well, those mills just need to get with it,
Sure.
And then I'm like, oh man, they're in the same boat we are.
Well, that's the thing
resources aren't there, it's just hard.
One of the things that we're learning is that, how interconnected our world is, right? That a fence company in Springfield, Missouri can be affected by a second round outbreak in India.
Yeah.
Like that's literally the conversation that we've been having this week is the effects in India, what ripples we feel here. Mm-hmm. And so we're feeling it in the price of chain link fittings. So we're currently in that process of buying fittings in more of a wholesale load, a bulk buy, I guess. And that's a ripple that we're feeling right now, whether, we're buying direct or several of our vendors have factories in India that are shut down or shutting down because of this. I think that's one thing that we've really learned over the last, 12 to 20 months is how interconnected all of us really are.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's another point to say like, and we're all human, we're all going through the same stuff. Like it's easy to sit here and get really frustrated at the price increases and then realize that like the reason we're not getting materials from India is because like their factory workers are literally dying. Like they can't come to work.
Right.
And it's hard, but it's hard to kind of stop yourself and be like, okay, you know what? All things considered, you got to take one on the chin, do what we can do to take care of the customers we can't take care of. And unfortunately, that does mean price increases. Like it does. And we get it. So I guess that's a really long way to say, like, we understand your frustrations.
Yeah.
We too are frustrated.
We hear your frustration.
We get it.
And we accept it.
Yes, yeah.
Absolutely.
We accept it. We share it.
And the bottom line here is we are in business to build fences.
Yeah.
As many fences as we can within reason. When it's not at a loss and it can keep our team members gainfully employed, that sort of thing. Well, like that's our goal here is to build fence. We want to build your fence.
And so that we can always we can also be here to help maintenance that fence that we do put in. Like that's a big thing. Like, we always stand behind our products. So if there is an issue, let's say a gate, that's included in our workmanship warranty. So if we don't make these steps now, like we're not going to be around in 15 years to maintenance that gate that we promised we would, so that's something to think about.
That's right. Sure. Hey, Sarah, Taylor sees your truck.
Oh, I bet it's at Mrs. Hale's house.
I bet so. That.
Oh,
try again.
Kidding me with this.
I finally get my truck back.
No,
so excited. Oh,
Siri, stop. How do you turn this?
Sorry.
Go to your settings and turn Siri off.
I don't know how we do this.
I had to do that on my phone.
And since I said that, everyone else out there that has one of those things, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Meanwhile, everyone's like, turn it off.
Yeah.
After this, please show me in my settings how to turn that off.
Speaking of ripple effects.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's funny.
Uh-oh. Jackson thought it was me.
No, I know the
Sorry, buddy.
Bell. Come on.
Sorry, buddy. Not me. But that's another update we can give the good folks out there at home. So your truck right now is pulling a trailer.
It is.
Is our wood crew truck right now.
Yep.
Because the wood crew's truck is getting rewrapped.
Yep.
We are 5 years into a 3-year wrap. So it was time. Yeah, it's typically the wraps. I mean, you plan on rewrapping 3 years, maybe 4 if you're really good to it. 5 years in on a 3-year wrap. So it was time.
It's time.
Now, should we talk about it or let it be a surprise?
Or do you want to do a live when you get over there?
Yep.
Is it inside or outside?
It is. Well, we're going to bring it back here. Yeah. So stay tuned because right after this, Sarah and I are going to get in Sarah's vehicle. She's going to take me over there. I'm going to get it. I'm going to bring it back. It's nice. I got a picture of it or a video of it. It's nice. So.
And then you know what we're going to do when we see it?
I
go, she.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
She.
I think maybe.
I'm going to take that video. I'm going to send it to Sarah or to Macy.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to Taylor to show to Macy. Be like,
yeah.
Hey, Macy. She. Look at that truck.
I'm going to be in the background going, fire, fire, fire.
Fire 100. Fire 100.
Check mark.
Bowl emoji.
Alien, Earth, Adam's world.
All right, guys. We like to do it about. Oh
no.
Walt. Do we need to talk about something?
Spoiler alert.
We literally just said we weren't going to tell people, Walt. Come on, get with it. I'm going to take down a comment. Come on. We're going to go live in about half an hour, 45 minutes later. Half hour, 45 minutes or later. I don't know how long it's going to take to go over there and get it and get over here.
Though. Like, what's on it?
This is what happens when you share sensitive information with people. The information gets out. Walt, Dennis, I'm looking at you. Oh.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Could it be?
Oh, yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think Walt and I did talk about this.
Though. It's on your Facebook, too.
Oh, yeah, it is on my Facebook. On my personal Facebook. Yeah, so people that are friends with me have already seen it. So, all right. I did get a haircut. Hot dog, I did. Took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours this morning to get a haircut, but by golly, we did. I trimmed my beard up. I call this my summer beard.
Summer beard.
A little bit closer, a little bit closer.
Yep.
Oh.
I think you actually did, yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry about that little outburst of mine earlier. I apologize, Walt. Walt kind of had it coming though after his comment he made in the beginning.
Okay.
I think we're even. That's all. I am sorry. This is key. It literally says Walt Dennis right on my screen. I know when it's Kenny, it says Stain Man. Okay, because Kenny's Stain Man. Walt Dennis is Walt Dennis.
I like. It just makes me feel like Walt Disney.
Now I'm thinking, does Kenny have Walt's phone? Because they are buddies and they do travel together on occasion. Maybe Kenny's got Walt's phone. But, or is this Walt trying to push off the bad juju onto Kenny?
I think it is. I think it could be.
Now I'm thinking, Walt, you got my brain thinking, and that's not good for anybody. Thank you, Rachel.
Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We are actually going to see Rachel here in 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Basically.
Shoot. I don't have a free weekend for like another 8 weeks.
I think it is like 3 weeks. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So we're going to see Rachel up at Finn's Installation School.
Yep.
They have an on-the-road training that you and I and Scott are all going to.
Yep.
So
awesome.
We're all going to, and it's chain link installation school. So we're all going to learn a little bit more about installing chain link fence.
I like it.
Now, the question is, Joe, do you install chain link fence? I personally do not. No. Now, we've got some team members that install some really good fence. So what I'm hoping is that the three of us can go and participate and bring back knowledge and share it with everybody else, because you can't take everybody up there. You can't get a 20-man show on the road, 20-person show on the road up to Lincoln. Yep. Or, I'm sorry, Rachel, Waverly. Go visit them. So we're hoping the three of us go up there, do the training, and bring back some wisdom.
I like it.
And I tell you what, it's going to be a little bit action-packed, because we're going up there. Mm-hmm. So we're going up Wednesday.
Yep.
Now we're going to visit one of our vendors Wednesday midday in Kansas City. So we're going to drive about halfway, have lunch with the vendor, and then another 3 hours up to Waverly, Nebraska, to Empire Fence and Net. We're going to spend a couple days with them. And then Friday evening, you guys are hightailing it back because you've got a wedding.
That's true.
One of our team members here getting hitched.
Married, yeah.
So you guys are rushing back here. I, unfortunately, will not be coming back here. The next morning, I'll be jumping on an airplane and flying to Georgia because Taylor's nephew is graduating. And that is a very big deal. So so Taylor and the kids are going to fly out Tuesday.
Okay.
So before we leave, they're flying out ahead to visit family and do all that. And then we're going to go to Waverly, Nebraska. Then I'm going to jump on a plane. I'm going to go. And then we're going to spend a week in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, that'll be fun.
You want to talk about family vacation. Now, it's not just my family. It's all of Taylor's family. It is big old family vacation. And we're going to be spending a week in Savannah.
Very cool.
I tried to get tickets for the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah?
I tried. They're sold out, and I'm on a waiting list. We'll see. If you guys,
Don't you know someone with the Savannah?
I know the guy that owns it. I have met the guy that owns it.
Okay.
So I think I have his number in my phone, but it's been like 3 years, and this guy's blown up. So I met him at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. Actually, fun fact, I met him on an aircraft carrier. That's where they're doing their networking event. In San Diego, they've got a old aircraft carrier that they do tours on, stuff like that. And so he was dressed head to toe in yellow tux, yellow top hat, the whole thing. Tell me if that sounds familiar. Mm-hmm. So I walked up and I said, "Hey, I need a picture with you because a buddy of mine is all into his whole family is all into yellow. Me and you have to get a picture." He's like, "Cool." We got chatting. He's like, "What do you do?" I asked him, "What do you do?" He goes, "I own a baseball team." Okay. I'm interested. they're an independent baseball team called the Savannah Bananas. He's like,
I like that.
he goes, we're bringing the circus to baseball. Is kind of how he put it at the time. Where they just what he means by that is he's just bringing the entertainment factor to baseball. Since then, he's gone on to write a book. He's referenced in a lot of major books. He's a public speaker now.
That's awesome.
He's blown up.
Heck yeah.
So I say all that to say, I'm not texting him. He's gonna be like, Joe, who? We met where? I met a lot of people in the last 3 years, but I hope I'm gonna get to go.
That's awesome.
Because that would be awesome. If you guys if you guys own a business, check out Savannah Bananas because that guy does amazing work. We reference him here when we're talking about surprise and delight type stuff. Like it's his big thing. He also has a book called Find Your Yellow Tux or something like that. Something to that effect. Basically saying find the thing that makes you different that you can expand on.
Very cool.
It is going to be a busy week that week for sure. Rachel says we're excited to have you. Fun graduation weekend too. Absolutely.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Walt Dennis says Savannah, Georgia is nice. That's what I hear. I haven't been. I heard good things. I was talking to my barber this morning about it, and he's like, "Oh, you were gonna love it."
That's
like,
awesome.
That's what I hear.
Very cool.
So Walt Dennis and my barber both agree.
Yep. Stamp of approval.
Savannah, Georgia is nice. We're gonna see. We're all gonna be in one big old house.
That's another one. The stamp emoji. I'm gonna start using that. Stamp of approval.
Stamp of approval.
Yeah, you'll be like,
emoji.
Hey, Sarah, look at this, and I'll just send you a stamp. You'll know. I'm really
Approved.
good at these. Yeah.
Good deal.
Yep.
All right, guys. A little bit over time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sticking around with our ridiculous selves. Yes. I appreciate that a lot. Let's see. So I'm doing this thing where we're gonna start saying who has given us
the people
thumbs up or hearts.
Okay.
Thank you, Taylor and Nicole, for the hearts.
Yep. Heart you too.
Thank you, Rachel, Raymond, Wild Man, Waylon Barnett, and Roy Stinney for the thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it a lot. Check out Wet Willie's.
That sounds like a fun place.
Okay. Noted. I hope this is a family establishment because we're going to be there with family. So we'll see. Brent says, my daughter's graduating from Chico State, moving to Colorado to get her master's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. Brent, you should be a proud dad. Absolutely. Congratulations.
That's really cool.
This is like a year of congratulations.
It is.
Lots of people graduating.
Yeah.
Our cousin graduated this year.
That's true. Yep.
Big props to Josh.
Heck yeah.
Very good. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging around. Brent said it best when he said, peace, love, you guys. Peace and love, you guys. Have a great day. I think that's what he was going to say. Have a great, and then he's just leaving it up to you. Have a great day. Have a great week.
Have a great life,
evening.
You know?
Have the best life.
Yeah. It's like have a good one. I like that one. Just like have a good one.
Very motivational show today also. Yes. Lots of things covered today.
Yep. Seafood,
big
weather.
Motivational show.
Motivational show.
You bet.
Yep.
Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.